Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this beautiful day? Isn't this a beautiful morning?
Very.
Hey, see, Post, how's this?
That's an awfully elegant pose, but is all that elegance necessary?
And why not? I represent Maricheks, don't I? We're not a butcher shop or a hardware store. We're a perfumery, and that means
We're stylish.
That's it.
With a quiet dignity.
Yes, and we get the tilt of our hats right.
That's right.
When I ride my bike, people see what Maricheks like, so I think it's very important that I look my best.
And how many people did you run over today?
Not one.
Well, it's early.
Here comes Miss Ritter. She spent the night with Mr. Kodai.
Again?
They always kiss goodbye at the newsstand, then she walks around the block to make us think she's been home.
Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this glorious day? Have you seen a lovelier morning?
Never.
Oh, it's too nice a day to be in such shuffling soak. I have no more energy whatsoever. Oh, anybody mind if I take the day off? Arcad? Why aren't you old enough to take me away from all this?
I'm old enough.
Well, then marry me, and I'll quit my job. No, I'm afraid you're really not quite old enough.
It won't be long, though. I'm catching up. You know, Miss Horvath always used to say I get to be 35 before you ever did.
Good morning.
Good day.
How are you this radiant day? What a rare, magnificent morning.
Is it?
Ah, good morning, my dear. How are you this ravishing day? Do you know you've never looked more exquisite?
Thank you, kind sir.
Oh, what a lovely dress.
Say what you had on yesterday, Mr. Kodai.
Ah, Mr. Novak.
Good morning.
Good day.
Isn't that a beautiful sky? What a perfect sample of summer weather. It's too nice a day to be indoors coming out change. What a waste of holiday weather altogether. Let's all run away.
Wouldn't it be something if we all took off from work?
Leaving Mr. Marichek without a single clerk.
Why not have a picnic?
I could bring my wife's preserves. Champagne might be nice with hot hors d'oeuvres.
It's too nice a day. It's right inside my soul. Inside the soul. Suntan. It's so nice a day. To be dozing under a tree.
It will all be out of a job.
If it costs that much to get suntanned.
I'll say untanned, pale but solvent.
A picnic?
A picnic? Oh, well.
Well, Mr. Novak, was the chicken the usual success? Last night, your weekly dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Marichek.
Oh, yes.
George, did you speak to Mr. Marichek about replacing Miss Horvath?
I mentioned it. No, absolutely not. After all, with business the way it's been.
Oh, but it's bound to pick up now that Hammerschmidt's is closed.
Have you tried their new hand cream?
I wonder if it's any good.
Good! My dear woman, my wife's been using their products for years. In fact, I've often wondered why theirs is so much better than everyone else's.
You should know, Mr. Marichek.
Good morning, Mr. Marichek.
Good day.
I would like to see a
Face like yours.
cracked
what we carry.
Do you have a cream for cherry red skin?
Oh, I see what you mean.
You will look enchanting.
My lips.
Glamorous as gargle.
Big mouth.
I would recommend the
Bath today.
On sale, did you say?
Put a little lipstick.
on your nose twice.
Morning and evening, and a little brush for homey bite.
Teeth.
Absolutely.
Recommend scented, thank you so much.
Is there something else before you go?
Yes. What have I forgotten? I have ever something something that is haunting, something that my heart doesn't understand, but it's back to me. I could also use a bottle of hair.
We have a splendid.
Here's an inexpensive perfume called Rat.
I've never used one.
If you want to clip your
Earlobes, you may want to dye your
nails,
dab a little on your husband's face.
Won't he surprise? I'm like an eyebrow under my chin. There's an idea
Not a mind filled with
very soft.
so
that should do it. Recommend the charges. Thank you so much.
always such a pleasure seeing you. Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. See? Looks like business is picking up already.
Vladislav, I got another letter today.
Oh, from her?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I've just got to read it to you.
Did she close a snapshot this time? Well, did she say anything about meeting, face to face?
Oh, we're going to very soon. But just listen to this. Dear friend, yesterday morning I ran through the range to the post office. I had the key in my hand, the key to box 1433. Trembling, I opened the door and reached inside. And oh, dear friend, there you were. I took you out, held you in my hand, and looked at you for a moment. Then I sat down, gently opened you, and read you.
Oh, so beautiful.
Mr. Seagulls!
Yes, sir.
May I borrow one of your sleeping pills?
Yes, sir. Of course, sir.
Thank you, my boy. You know whose fault this is?
No, sir.
Yours.
Mine?
Every time you come to dinner, Mrs. Marichek has the cook make dumplings and cream gravy. And what happens? You stay young and I get heartburn.
I'm so sorry, sir.
George, it's time you were married. Haven't you had enough of living in furnished rooms, running around the cabarets and dance halls?
But, Mr. Marichek, I haven't been to a dance hall in years.
I know what you bastards are like. Remember, I was once one myself. And what? Oh, that's right. Strong. Oh, there was something in days gone by. With some girl who just happened to catch my eye. Slim, straight, light on my feet, shoes just skimming the ground. 1, 2, 2, follow the beat, around, around, around. All night circling the floor till dawn lit up the sky. No one younger than I in days gone by. Then I met Mrs. Marichek, and ever since I danced with no other woman. I bet you find that incredible.
No, Mrs. Marichek's a beautiful woman.
Young, strong. Oh, there was something in days gone by.
The fact is, I'm a terrible dancer.
With some girl who just happened to catch yourself one person to dance with. It's not necessary to change partners every night.
Mr. Merenchek.
Or every other night. You just think it's necessary. Oh, here they are.
Oh, well, what?
A little surprise for you.
What is it?
It's a genuine leather music box. Here, listen. Isn't that a lovely tune? Here, you try it.
What else does it do?
What do you mean, what else? This is a genuine leather, musical cigarette box. And only 10 and 6. How's that for a bargain, huh?
But who will buy it?
I can see you're in a difficult mood today. Here, let's ask some of the other clerks. Get their honest opinions. Mr. Koda.
Yes, sir. Oh, I can't imagine why not, sir. I'd even go further. I think this will make music lovers out of cigarette smokers, and cigarette smokers out of music lovers.
Thank you, Mr. Koda.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
Now, George, I'll make you a bet. I'll bet you 10 and 6. We'll sell the first of these within the hour.
I don't want to take your money, sir.
10 and 6. No more, no less. Is it a bet?
Well,
Not so confident now.
it's a bet.
Good. You will pay through the nose. You will pay through the nose. Ah, good day, madam. May I help you?
I'd like a large tube of Mona Lisa.
Mona Lisa Cold Cream? Certainly, madam. Isn't that a lovely tune?
Is 7 and 4 the largest size, or is there a larger?
We also have a 9 and 6.
I'd like to see it.
This is a musical box.
Do you carry flowers of spring in the 1 ounce bottle?
A 1 ounce bottle. Certainly, madam. Mr. Sipos, your customer.
Yes, sir. Over here, madam.
Ah, good day, madam. May I help you?
Who do I see about returning a jar of sour face cream?
Oh, Mr. Godard, your customer.
Right this way, madam.
Good day, madam. May I help you?
No. Yes.
Well, we have a complete stock of soaps, shampoos, perfumes,
No.
bath oils, bath salts,
No.
cold creams, face creams, nail polishes,
No.
oh, brushes, hard, soft, and medium.
No.
Toilet water. Oh, now there's a special. This week only on Roses of Italy. I'll show it to you.
Thursday? Good. I'll stop by for it.
Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam. Let me sprailing on your hand.
No.
No.
Actually, you see, I'm not going to buy any. Not today. I'm not going to buy anything. Is Mr. Marichek here?
He's in the back room.
I'd like to speak with him, please.
Well, perhaps I can help you.
I don't think so.
Oh, he's very busy.
Then I'll wait. I don't mind, really. I'll just sit here quietly and wait till he's free.
May I ask the nature of your business?
I think I'd better speak to Mr. Marichek personally.
Very well. May I have your name, please?
Balish. Amalia Balish.
Very well, Miss Balish. I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, one more thing. Miss Horvath, the lady who used to work here, the one who's having the baby, she hasn't been replaced yet, has she?
Are you looking for a job?
No! I guess you could call it that. I'm a very good sales girl. Really good. Very. And I know the perfumery business inside and out. I worked at Hammersmith's for 5 years. 5 years and 8 months. And they were always very satisfied with me there. I have a letter here from Mr. Hammersmith himself. It says, Miss Balish is honest, dependable, dedicated,
she also has an abundance of these qualities which lead towards her being a superior salesgirl. I highly recommend her. Signed, Herman Hammerschmidt. Oh, here.
I'm sure it's just as you say, but unfortunately, we're not replacing Miss Horvath right now. If you'd like to leave your name...
Abolish! Amalia, abolish!
And if anything should come up...
I'd like to speak with Mr. Marichek, please.
I'm afraid if it's only about a job...
Please!
I'm sorry. It just can't be done.
What can't be done? At Marichek's, nothing is impossible. Perhaps I can help you.
She wants a job.
What?
I'm a very good salesgirl. I know the perfumery business inside and out. I worked at Hammerschmidt's.
I'm sorry.
I have a letter here from Mr. Hammerschmidt himself.
We don't have an opening.
I'm honest, dependable, dedicated.
Really, George, why can't you handle this sort of thing without calling me in?
I'm a really good salesgirl. Really good. Very.
Excuse me.
Aren't these marvelous boxes? And only 10 and 6, can you imagine? What are they for? Candy. Candy? Why, yes, madam, it's the latest thing. And would you just look at the workmanship? Oh, a musical candy box. Why, certainly, madam. It combines the 3 elements of good taste. Attractive to the eye, attractive to the ear, and functional. How functional? How functional? Well, let me tell you. This box has been a lifesaver to many women who have a slight tendency to overweight. And don't we all? We sit at home reading a good book or listening to a symphony and without even realizing it, our hand slips into the candy box. We become indiscreet, eating sweet after sweet, though we know all too well where that may lead. So this box was designed with the 2 of us in mind as the kind of reminder we need. When you raise the lid, the music plays like a disapproving nod, and it sings in your ear, no more candy wavier. In a way, it's a little like the voice of God. I'll take it. Thank you, madam.
Oh, if you'll step over here, madam, that'll be 3 and 8 for the large jar of face cream.
And 10 and 6 for the box. Thank you very much, madam.
What? You're hired, Miss...
Abolish! Amalia Abolish.
Miss Bolish, welcome to Marichek's. And Mr. Novak, if you please.
14 and 4, 14 and 5, 15.
Your packages, madam.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam.
Dear friend, when the day brings petty aggravations and my poor frayed nerves are all askew, I forget these unimportant matters, pouring out my hopes and dreams to you. As I rest my pen and look around me, I can see the summer disappear. Oh, dear friend, all at once, autumn's here.
Good morning, Miss Ritter.
Good morning, Arpad.
Look! Autumn!
misunderstanding last night. I just can't bear it when we quarrel. Can you, darling? Truthfully.
Go to hell.
Dear friend, with November just around the corner, I've a feeling you may also share. Do you feel an undertone of discord and a sense of tension in the air?
Really, Mr. Novak? Must there always be leaves on this sidewalk?
No, sir, but Mr. Marichek! Mr. Marichek! If it weren't for your endearing letters, I'd be flying south with all the geese. By the way, have you read War and Peace?
Good morning, Mr. Novak.
Ah, good morning, Miss Polish. I see you're on time today. Congratulations.
Well, I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, but I'm not disappointed. Far from it. Let's just call it surprise.
They always argue.
You're so smart.
Why is that? A simple chemical reaction. You see, two people like each other very much. If they like each other? Well, I think so. They like each other very much. Well, don't you think we should tell them?
Our Pat, my boy, they'd never believe us.
Look! Winter!
Have you set your calendar for Tuesday when we bring this chapter to a close? When I meet my lady of the letters who puts tiny faces in her O's.
In the freezing weather of December, I'll be warmly waiting for our date. Until then, count the hours.
Oh, I'm late for work. I'm late. Good morning. Am I very late? Did Mr. Novak say anything? Where is he?
Oh, he's in the workroom. Well, you're all new. The shoes, the dress, the hat.
Top to bottom, I'm surprised you recognized me. Do I look all right?
Oh,
Yes.
lovely. Oh, gorgeous.
It took me 3 hours to get dressed this morning. That's why I'm so late.
Oh, I have a feeling our little Miss Bolish might be in love. And you'll have a rendezvous with him this evening. How do you know?
Well, Mr. Kodai is an expert on love.
Oh?
Which is really quite remarkable, considering he's never been in it.
Good morning, Miss Polish.
He didn't yell at me. What's wrong with him?
He's got other things on his mind. Mr. Marichek's very upset.
He is,
Again,
again.
you know who gets the worst of it.
Mr. Novak!
Yes, sir.
You see this?
Yes, sir.
You know what it is.
A tube of Mona Lisa cold cream.
Here, let's see you try it.
That came off.
I was under the impression it was your responsibility to see that these tubes were correctly filled. If that responsibility is too much for you, Mr. Novak, I can gladly find someone else to fill your position. Or, is there something wrong with the tubes? Are they defective?
No, I don't think
You
so.
don't think so. And it wouldn't be asking too much to see that these tubes were correctly filled.
No, sir. It would not be asking too much.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. That's all.
George! George! Your coat. There's still Mona Lisa on it.
Thanks, Vladislav.
You're so nervous. I can feel you vibrating.
Well, it's a new suit, Vladislav. I've never worn it to work before.
Oh? What's the occasion?
The biggest ever. I'm meeting her. Tonight.
Oh, you mean the letter girl? Face to face at last?
Face to face at last.
Well, I just hope she lives up to your expectations.
Can I tell you something, Vladislav? I hope she doesn't. I mean, I hope she isn't as beautiful as I think she is, or as brilliant as I think she is. Because what would she think of me? Just a very ordinary clerk in a very ordinary shop. Oh, and a terrible liar.
A liar?
The things I wrote in those letters.
You lied?
Well, I certainly exaggerated.
No wonder you're vibrating.
I'm nervous and upset because this girl I've never met, I get to meet tonight at 8. I'm taking her to dinner at a charming old cafe, but who can eat tonight at 8? It's early in the morning and our date is not till 8 o'clock tonight, and yet already I can see what a nightmare this whole day will be. I haven't slept a wink, I only think of our approaching tete-a-tete tonight at 8. I feel a combination of depression and elation. What a state to wait till 8. 3 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. In spite of all I've written, she may not be very smitten, and my hopes perhaps may all collapse complete tonight at 8.
George!
I'm so sorry. I wish I knew exactly how I'll act and what will happen when we die tonight at 8. I know I'll drop the silverware, but will I spill the water or the wine tonight at 8? Tonight I'll walk right up and sit right down beside the smartest girl in town, and then it's anybody's guess. More and more I'm breathing less and less. In my imagination I can hear our conversation taking shape tonight at 8. I'll sit there saying absolutely nothing, or I'll jabber like an ape tonight at 8. 2 more minutes, 3 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. I'll know when this is done, if something's ended or begun, and if it goes alright, who knows, I might propose tonight at 8.
Oh, this is fun. I love Christmas wrapping.
It certainly is a pleasant change. You know, for the past month, I've done practically nothing but fill those darn tubes of Mona Lisa.
Well, what do you care? I mean, you're in love with a nice, eligible young man. Soon you'll be able to kiss all this goodbye. So, tell me, what's he like? I want to know everything about him. I love to suffer. Is he tall?
So-so.
So 6 feet? So 5 feet?
I've never measured.
Color of hair? Oh, color-wise.
Sandy hair. Not too light, not too dark.
Color-wise.
Bluish, greenish.
Brownish.
A little.
Is he handsome?
You know, it's difficult to say. Some days he is, other days he's not.
Well-built.
Average.
Would you like a piece of good advice? Don't listen in a crowd.
Why am I such an unconvincing liar? Okay, the truth is, I've never met him. Ever. Really.
Never?
That's why I don't know if he's tall, short, wide, narrow, pink, green, or even what his name is.
You mean all this fuss is for a blind date? My God, you're more desperate than I am.
No, it's not a blind date. I know him.
How?
Letters. Many, many letters.
Oh. You belong to a Lonely Hearts Club.
I've never done that sort of thing before. I'd seen the advertisements in the papers.
Well, who hasn't? Young man wants young lady. Young lady wants young man.
But I'd never taken him seriously. Until one day I saw his advertisement. Even then, I tried not to respond to it, really, but it just kept calling out to me.
He could be 75.
No! The advertisement says young man.
You haven't even asked for a photograph?
I don't know his name or what he looks like, but I have a much more certain guide. I can tell exactly what he looks like inside. When I undertook and art. I don't need to see his handsome profile. I don't need to see his manly frame. All I need to know is in each letter, each long revealing letter, I couldn't know him better. If I knew his name. Oh, I know him so well, Ella. I know that he's a very successful person and terribly well educated. And I know that he's gentle and kind and soft-spoken. Oh, I know all of this about him and so much more. I've just never met him. That's all. Your eyes
Isn't he handsome? It doesn't much matter, but his personal habits are more important than his looks. Supposing he snores like a locomotive, supposing he grinds his teeth, supposing he's a nutcracker, go on with your books. And another small detail that you haven't yet mentioned, I've become sexier when you and he are all alone. Come to think of it, maybe you're right, maybe it doesn't matter, but maybe I do much better myself with the library card.
I don't need to see his handsome profile. I don't need to see his manly frame. All I need to know is in each letter, each long revealing letter, I couldn't know him better. If I knew his name,
I knew his name. What's in the name?
Mr. Novak, perhaps you can help me.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for the Christmas decorations. I don't see them.
Oh, we haven't started them yet. I meant to talk to you about it in a day or two.
I am sick and tired of you running to me like a baby on every matter that comes up. Everyone.
But, Mr. Marichek, that's not fair.
George, kindly inform all of the employees that they'll be staying late tonight. Now, is that clear? Even to you?
Yes, it's perfectly clear. But I'm afraid I can't make it. I have an appointment. I can do tomorrow night, a Thursday night, a Friday.
You know what? That won't be necessary. I assure you, we'll get on splendidly without you. That's all, Mr. Novak, thank you.
No, that's not all, Mr. Marichek. For the past month, I can't seem to do anything right. What is it? Is it me? Is it you? If my work's been bad, it's been bad for 15 years. So why the hell did you wait till now to start telling me?
How dare you raise your voice in this shop?
Sorry. Clumsy idiot!
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I had to stop that argument before you did something foolish, like resigning.
Well, I'm not sure I appreciate that.
I didn't do that for you, George. I did it for me. Who knows? If you resign, your successor might take one look at me and think, what's that oaf doing in this fancy perfumery?
Well, you're a great clerk, Vladislav.
I'm an idiot. But at least I'm an idiot with a job. Call me fool. That's all right with me. Here's my rule. Never disagree. Where's my pride? Swallowed long ago. laughing, nodding, beaming, always humble, not an ounce of self-respect. Yes, sir, you're so right, sir. Black is white, sir. Excuse me while I genuflect. How do I remain so calm and cheerful? How do I retain my peace of mind? Let me just explain my rationale. It's all in your perspective. Listen to an old Hungarian's philosophy. I am only one of several in a rather small perfumery, which is one of many in this city. Which is one of many cities in this country, which is only one of many countries which are on this continent, which is one of 7 on this not-so-special planet, which is one of many in our solar system, which is one of many solar systems in this vast and inconceivable affair that is the universe. So, in this infinite, incomprehensible scheme, if a dot called Marichek should scream at a speck called Seahose, what on earth does it matter? So, call me fool. That's alright with me. Here's my rule, never disagree. Where's my pride? Swallowed long ago, deep inside, where it doesn't show. Just maintain a true perspective, and it's easy to avoid a clash of wills. Just maintain a true perspective, and make sure you're well supplied with stomach pills. Let me put it bluntly, I'm a coward with a wife and children to support. Actually, my creed is short and simple. 5 essential words, George. Do not lose your job.
Miss Ritter.
What?
This is going to be a charge. Here's the lady's name.
Oh, just the name. After such a long conversation and no telephone number?
Oh, I don't need it. She's got mine.
While I have you all here, Miss Balish, Mr. Marichek would like everyone to stay late tonight
Why?
to set up the Christmas decorations. All right?
I guess so.
Of course, fine with me. Good day, madam. May I help you?
Mr. Novak. Mr. Novak, I can't stay.
Why?
I've got a date. You know I've got a date.
I know no such thing.
How can you say that? Why else would I be wearing all these new clothes? To trim a tree in?
I'm only following Mr. Marichek's instructions.
I can't stay.
You're not being very cooperative, Miss Balish.
Well, why did he have to pick this one night? Or did you pick it, Mr. Novak? Just because you knew I had an appointment.
Thank you, madam. Please call again. Do call again, madam.
You know, I find it quite depressing that anyone would hate me so much.
I don't hate you, but until you came here, this was a happy, peaceful place. Now the whole atmosphere's changed. Everyone's cranky. Mr. Marichek's on the warpath.
And that's not my fault.
The Mona Lisa's coming out the wrong end of the tube.
And that's not my fault. Is it?
You've been filling them.
According to your instructions.
Well, let's not argue about this now. Can we have a truce?
Any time, Mr. Novak. After all, you're always the one that starts things.
Oh, I'm the one?
You've always resented me since the day I came in here, when I made you lose that bet to Mr. Marichek. For 10 and 6, wasn't it? To think that anyone could hate me so much just for 10 and 6.
Oh, that's nonsense.
Or was it your male pride that was wounded? Because I went over your head. Men always do seem to resent things like that.
I do not resent you, Miss Balish.
Oh, yes, you
Oh, for heaven's sakes, I did not resent you. But if I did, I would have a very good reason. Can you deny you hadn't worked here 2 weeks before you started making very public, very humiliating remarks about me?
Only because you went around calling me Miss A. Molly Abolish. Miss A. Molly Abolish. You think I like that?
Oh, you think I like your criticizing of my socks, my tie, my fingernails?
Much better.
That must be the rudest, most difficult, worst-tempered girl in the world!
Good day, madam. May I help you?
Yes, I would like Lily scented soap, please.
Right this way. Well, Mr. Novak. Hard at work as usual, I see.
Good day, ladies. May I help you?
Have you made the arrangements about tonight?
Yes, sir. Mr. Kodai, Miss Ritter, and Mr. Sipos can stay. And Arpad, of course.
And what about Miss Wallish?
She has an appointment.
An appointment? Well, I guess you can hardly prevail upon her to stay when you're not going to.
And the other night, Mr. Marichek.
There seems to be a great many things, Mr. Novak, which interest you far greater than your position here.
Mr. Marichek, I am devoted to this shop. I couldn't work harder if I owned it.
If you owned it, let me tell you something, my young friend. You will never get your hands on this shop. Never! Not if I can come down from heaven myself and stop you! Is that clear?
Yes, it's perfectly clear.
Now get away from me. Just get away.
I will get away, and permanently.
Can I take that as your resignation, Mr. Novak?
That's exactly what it is.
Very well. I accept. Effective immediately. Miss Ritter will have your final pay.
Excuse me, is this the large size or the medium?
The large size.
Well, then show me the medium. I haven't got all day.
Yes, madam.
I would like a cake of Castile soup and a pint of shampoo. Is there a sale on? Let me have a hairnet bubble bath. How much do you charge for the Mona Lisa? Can you recommend an unusual price?
Mr. Novak, good evening.
Should be good news for you, Miss Bolish. Very good news. I won't be arguing with you anymore. I just quit my job.
Why?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't have much choice.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything. Especially not that you're sorry. Let's not end our relationship on that false note. Goodbye, Miss Bolish.
Mr. Novak, may the condemned woman have one last word. I never wished you any harm. Ever. You've got to believe that.
Oh, I believe you, Miss Bolish. And may I say, I sincerely hope you marry some nice man and have many children. For the sake of my successor in this job, I hope it's soon.
Castile soup and a pint of shampoo. Is there a sale on? Let me have a hairnet bubble bath. How much do you charge?
Marichek's won't be the same without
Can you recommend an
Sorry,
unusual
Miss
price?
April.
Something about a chic but
If I can ever help,
that will make it Christmas me know. The kind that I have. Do you have a lipstick? Guaranteed kiss from coconut oil. Let me have a jar of vanishing green and a bottle
I wish there were time
to know that there's more to me than I may always show. Will he like me? Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? Who can say? How I wish that we could meet another day. It's absurd for me to carry on in this way. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. When I am in my room alone and I write, thoughts come easily, words come fluently then. That's how it is when I'm alone. But tonight, there's no hiding behind my paper and pen. Will he know that there's a world of love waiting to warm him? How I'm hoping that his eyes and ears won't misinform him. Will he like me? I don't know. All I know is that I'm tempted not to go. It's insanity for me to worry so. I'll try not to. Will he like me? He's just got to. Will he like me? Will he like me?
Ladislav, have you got the pack of bicycles over there?
I don't see any.
Would you please ask Mr. Kodai if he's got them?
Miss Ritter wants to know if you've got her icicles.
Oh, icicles? Please tell her that's all I've been getting from her for several weeks.
He says
I
it's-
heard him.
Okay.
Why else would I be laughing so uncontrollably?
Mr. Seapost, what do you think of a woman who goes with a man, tells him she loves him, and then suddenly drops him?
Before you answer that, Ladislav, what do you think of a man who breaks 3 dates with a girl in little over a week?
A little over a week?
8 days!
I don't recall 3
You
days.
don't recall anything! You never do!
Oh, you're so wrong, Alona. I recall our evenings together. I recall them very well. A little private at the Rabbit together. Remember? Oh, let's go there tonight. You've always loved the rats, together. The Chinese food, the gypsy fortune teller. Oh, and that rumba band. Ilona, come with me. Ilona, I've missed you so much. How I envy you each evening when work is through, for I have only me to be with, while you have you. With
so happy New Year.
Come with me, Luna.
No.
Come with me, Cherry. Ah, mistletoe, I long for someone. Please tell me who, like some divine rod, it points straight to you. Remember, Ilona, those sunny nights we knew before. If you just say the word, Ilona, we'll know them once more.
If it were only up to me, yes, Boo, I would hang up on the Christmas tree. This is where my cake and amen, the fox and the chicken are a team again.
Together, we generate a spark that's rare. Why deny that it's there? Ilona, you feel it, I know. Let's help it to glow.
All right, we'll go to the rat skeller, but you better have lots of money because I'm starved. Or is it going to be Dutch, as usual?
Oh, no. My treat.
You can all go home now. Go home.
But the work isn't finished yet, sir.
We'll have to do it some other time.
Well, speaking for myself, I don't mind staying a little longer. You see, I'm in the rhythm of it now. No? Okay.
I want everyone out as quickly as possible.
But it's only 9:30.
9:30.
Arpat, what? Good news. What? You've been reprieved. Mr. Merrick says we can go home, all right?
Pardon me, seapost.
Oh, well, you're all ready. I'll just be a minute. Arpad, will you fetch my things, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, sorry. Thank you. Ilona, this is going to be a bit difficult to explain, but I won't be able to take you to the rat skiller after all.
What?
I'm so sorry, darling. I just can't help myself. The truth is, I thought we were working late tonight, so I canceled a previous appointment. And now that we finished early, I've just got to keep it. You do understand, don't you? Trust me, Ilona. We'll go to the rat skiller another night. Soon. Let's see. Today is Tuesday. How about next Monday? Ilona, Sherry.
I resolve not to be so stupid.
Will you keep Monday night open for me,
I
darling?
resolve not to play these games.
All right, sweetheart.
How often I've been a sitting duck for Cupid. How often I've let him shoot me down in flames.
Oh, come on, sweetheart. Say it's all right.
I resolve not to be so trusting. It's high time that I awoke. Whatever I got appearance of here rusting. My feminine intuition is a joke. I must be cousin to a cat. I always wind up with a rat. I'm through with momentary thrills. I find I can't afford the bills. I resolve, come what may, I will not be this girl one more day. I resolve not to be so brainless. I resolve not to be so dumb. My usual brush with love is far from painless. And suddenly I have got to know how come. I resolve not to blame the others just because I'm an easy mark. I want to know why I never meet their mothers. Where men are concerned, I'm always in the dark. I will stop thinking with my skin. I will not be a mandolin that someone strums and puts away until he gets the urge to play. I resolve here and now I will be a different girl
Ladislav!
George!
I've got to talk to you. Will you come with me to the Cafe Imperial? It's urgent.
The Cafe Imperial?
Yes, she'll be there, sitting alone. And on the table in front of her, there will be a copy of Anna Karenina with a rose in it.
Your lady friend? The one who writes the letters? Oh.
And I'll be wearing the rose here. Right here.
That's a very romantic picture, George. Very romantic. What thing?
One thing,
What am I doing there?
you are going to give her this letter, which explains I've been called out of town on urgent business and will write to her as soon as possible.
She won't be disappointed?
She'd be more disappointed if she saw me the way I am tonight. Now, will you give this to her for me, please?
Of course. Although I really don't
Let's hurry, please. For all I know, she got tired of waiting and went home long ago.
Okay.
Mr. Keller?
Mr. Marichek,
Come in, please.
do we talk here?
Everyone's gone.
As I explained to you over the phone, we've completed our investigation.
Who sent this to me?
I'm afraid we don't know that, sir. Anonymous letters are very difficult to track down, but we have checked its contents, and there's no doubt about it. Mrs. Marichek has been having an affair with one of your clerks.
There's no doubt.
I'm sorry, sir.
I've always known, I just had to be sure.
Been going to his apartment, number 17 Court Street. The visits are listed. Would you care for us to have an investigation on Mr. Kodai?
Who?
Stephen Kodai, that's his name.
Kodai!
Stephen Kodai, number 17 Court Street, second floor, apartment 6.
But I thought, there's another clerk who works here, and he's been to our house many, many times, and I thought, I naturally thought.
You'll read the report, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Will that be all? Then I'll be saying good night.
Good night, Mr. Keller.
Good night, sir.
Hello, love? Yes. He'll be up late tonight. Give her my best. No, I feel a bit tired. Of course. Give her my best. No, I won't wait up. So do I. Bye-bye.
Mr. Marichek? Mr. Marichek? Mr. Marichek! No, don't!
But tough fingers do that again. That's the end of your career.
How do you do, sir? How do you do, sir?
Don't you know we try to preserve a romantic atmosphere? Good to see you again, Mr. List. That's what all our patrons expect. So every jarring note will be ruthlessly checked. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. Think of all the love affairs we assist. What more noble calling is there than ours? Tending each new beautiful bud of love, making sure each delicate seedling flowers. Treat each tryst and rendezvous as your own, bearing in mind the gravity of your task. All these lovers want is one shining hour. Is that such a terrible lot to ask? Look all around and see for yourself the romantic atmosphere.
Victor!
Stephanie! That's what all our patrons demand. That's the reason why they're here. Victor! Hugo! They all come here just for the food. And if you don't believe me, try tasting our food. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. Get their own crowd. Gently does it try to preserve a romantic
That's the rose?
It's been in my pocket all day.
Let me have it.
Oh, no.
But you've gone this far, go the rest of the way.
No, just give her the letter, please. And thank you, Ladislav. I really appreciate this.
Wait. Let's at least have a look at her.
You look.
No, I'm sorry. Nope.
She's old and ugly and toothless, isn't she?
I wouldn't say so.
Well, there has to be something wrong with her. Terribly wrong.
Why?
I can see it in your face.
The fact is, she's a very attractive girl.
She really is.
Absolutely.
But will I think so?
That's a matter of personal taste. Let's see. Who does she look like?
Some film star?
No. As a matter of fact, I'd say she looks like someone from the shop.
In our shop?
Yep. More than anything, Miss Polish. She looks very much like her.
Miss Bolish? Miss Amalia Bolish? But I thought you said attractive.
Well, I think so. But if you don't like Miss Polish, you're certainly not gonna like this girl.
They're that similar?
See for yourself. Wait, you're just gonna leave her there?
Oh, well, what do you suggest? You want me to tell her that I'm the poor fool who's written her all those letters? She'd make me the laughingstock of the city!
How? She wrote some too. Dear Verna, to go to the box, to cut you open, and so on.
It's impossible.
What?
She didn't write those letters. She couldn't have.
Oh, so you just think it's a coincidence. She just happened to like this cafe. She just happened to be reading Anna Karenina with a rose as a bookmark in December.
But it's Miss Bolish. I can't be in love with Miss Bolish.
How do you know until you try?
I know her. There's some mistake, Ladislav. There's just got to be.
Then talk to her. Find out.
She's not, dear friend. She's not. She can't be. Can she?
Oh, no.
Miss Bolish!
Mr. Novak, what are you doing here?
Celebrating. How about you?
I'm waiting for someone.
Anyone in particular?
Of course, what kind of a girl do you think I am?
Oh, well.
Never mind, Mr. Novak, I know.
May I sit down for a minute?
No, I'm afraid not.
You won't help me celebrate?
Celebrate?
My freedom, Miss Bolish. Oh, just think of it. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and I can sleep as late as I like.
Mr. Novak, I told you that chair happens to be reserved.
Oh, you won't have one quick drink with me?
No.
One small farewell drink?
Well, if it's very small and very quick.
Thank you. To Marichek's Perfumery, to all the people who work there, and all the people who used to work there, and all of the customers.
And that covers everything.
Good wine.
Mr. Novak, are you spying on me?
Spying?
Did you come here to make sure that I really had a date, that I wasn't just making up an excuse not to come to work?
Well, who would I be spying for? Marichek?
Mr. Novak, if you don't leave this table immediately, I'm going to have to call a waiter.
Yes, madame.
There you are.
May I put the word in? The Cafe Imperial is a rendezvous for lovers. Look around you. We try to preserve a romantic atmosphere. And I find it very difficult, madam, when you and your husband insist on fighting right in the middle of it. Can't you argue at home?
business associate.
Well, talk business someplace else. Please.
You say you're meeting someone here. Someone you've known very long?
Please leave, Mr. Lambert.
Well, it doesn't seem right for a man to keep a lady waiting, all alone in such a public place.
Will you please leave?
Even if he is an old friend, a dear friend.
I don't wish to discuss it with you, Mr. Novak.
What's the name of that tune? Oh, my mother used to sing it to me when I was a baby.
So did mine.
Miss Polish, do you realize we've just found something in common? At one time, you and I were both infants.
But I grew up.
I believe it's called Tango Tragique.
What if he's already been here and seen us together and gone? Mr. Novak, I would never forgive you.
What is this?
Put that back.
Anna Karenina.
Yes, it's a book by Leo Tolstoy, a Russian. Now, will you please put it back?
Oh, and what is
That's none of your
this?
business.
Miss Polish, is it possible you've never even met this man?
That is ridiculous.
Oh, of course it is. And yet, some girls and some men do make appointments with strangers. And sometimes it turns out rather well. And on the other hand, sometimes it turns out not so well. I remember a girl I knew once. She wrote to someone through a Lonely Hearts Club. They corresponded for a while. And then they decided to meet. I seem to recall she was to have a flower in her book. And he was to have the same flower in his buttonhole. And they did recognize each other, I guess. The next day, the police found her left leg floating in the Danube. And you know, they never did find the rest of her. Or her book.
At the count of 5, I'll scream, so you'd better go. And soon, 1.
I just want to talk to you.
Don't forget, I've had some wine and nothing to eat since noon, 2.
Well, we could go grab a sandwich, maybe.
Dante once described all the depths of hell. If I had my way, you all know them well. 3.
Miss Polish!
You are easily the most insensitive man alive.
You surprised me.
Sorry, but I'm fighting for my life. 4. 4.5. Will you go? And 5.
I'm trying to ruin me, lady. Get out! That's all. Get out! You two, get out! Screaming like lunatics. That's all. Get out!
How dare you speak to a lady that way?
Ladies don't scream in cafes.
I'm afraid you don't quite understand. You see, there was a fly in the wine.
What?
I said a fly in the wine!
Where is it? Show it to me.
Oh, I'm afraid that's not quite possible. You see, the lady swallowed it.
She swallowed!
What are you saying?
Good God! Yes, madam.
Really, Mr. Novak, no matter how much you despise me or how unhappy you are, haven't you had enough revenge? I don't understand you.
Well, how could you, Miss Polish? You've never listened to me. You've never really looked at me.
How wrong you are, Mr. Novak. I'm looking at you right now. And shall I tell you what I see? I see a smug, pompous, petty tyrant. Very sure of himself and very ambitious, but I see him 10 years from now selling shampoo. And 20 years from now selling shampoo. And 30 years from now still selling shampoo. Because basically, do you know what he is? Just a not very bright, not very handsome, not very young man with balding hair and the personality of a python. Mr. Novak. Mr. Novak, I didn't mean all of those things
Call him. He'll come back. It's almost closing time.
Closing time? No, I'm still waiting for someone. He'll have a rose in his lapel.
Oh, to match the one in your book. How late is he?
Over 2 hours.
You're a very patient young lady.
I've waited for him all my life. That's 2 hours.
This one's on the house. For luck.
Thank you. You know, this is a very nice cafe.
Well, we try to preserve a romantic atmosphere.
The flowers, the linen, the crystal I see, the care having chosen for people like me. The silver gleam and the candles aglow. Your favorite songs are request. Each colorful touch in the finest of taste. And notice how subtly the tables are spaced. The music is muted, the lighting is low. No wonder I feel so depressed. Charming, romantic, the perfect cafe. Then, as if it isn't bad enough, a violin starts to play. Candles and wine, tables for two. But where were you, dear friend? Couples go past me, I see how they look. So discreetly sympathetic when they see the rose and the book. I make believe nothing is wrong. How long can I pretend? Please make it right. Don't break my heart. Don't let it end, dear friend.
We're closing up.
So soon?
It looks like your friend didn't get here.
I'm sure there's a very good reason.
Then he'll write to you, and you can patch it up. And I hope you'll be very happy.
Thank you. Will you tell me something? You've seen so many of these cases. Does it ever happen that the girl is here waiting and the man looks at her secretly and just goes away without ever writing or explaining? Does that ever happen?
Sometimes she looks at him, and she goes away.
How heartbreaking that must be.
You don't have to worry. You're a nice, presentable girl. Not a beauty contest winner, but you should see some of the others.
Don't let it